Oh, good, it's recording. I have this wonderful friend who is 83, I believe, and she is truly working herself to death because she wants things a certain way. She wants her house kept nicely, and her she has many beautiful things in her house, and it looks beautiful all the time. Also, she has a big garden area. I'm thinking she gardens at least a half an acre. And she can only find a worker that comes out sometimes because she's very particular. She wants to treat the plants like they're beings, which my personal belief is that they have an intelligence, they're alive, they need to be respected and treated well. So we share many of these um, gentler philosophies. So she doesn't want any of her lawn helpers to step on any of the plants. And if something needs to be pulled, then it needs to be done so in a respectful way, etc. And appreciated. I think really that's the base of it is appreciation. So her husband is also aging, which creates a predicament for her. Her husband doesn't feel that he really needs any help. And he's not aware of many of the things that occur. For example, there was a bowel accident, and she asked him about it, and he said, I don't know. I don't know how that happened. And so she's left to clean it up because she's kind of tender of the house, the garden, the bills, the social engagements with family and friends. And so I was talking to her because I'm concerned about her health. She's very thin as it is, and it takes such a toll on her. She's worrying. It's like at this age, 83, you're so stressed about worry. What's there to worry about? Your kids are grown. Uh, your house is paid for. But I understand. I understand. She worries about her kids, and of course, I think we all do. All mothers must. And I was just thinking, my kids have taught me a lot about worry, and basically, it's a waste of time, is what I have learned. And they're doing beautifully in their own way. And it's not my way, but it's beautiful. It's so unique and perfect for them. So I can do nothing but applaud them. They are great teachers for me. So back to my friend, she has all these worries and she really wants to be living her life and putting her attention on her music and developing her voice and creating, writing things. But she has these worries. So I was talking to her about letting go, which is the topic of this video. Finally, I got to the topic of the video. So I was talking to her about letting go, and she truly insists on holding on. And I understand it's important. It's important to have a house that you feel comfortable in and a lawn that looks lovely and you want to go out and be in. And so really it seems obvious to me is that the choices are to get some help. It's like if you want things a certain way, the choices are to get some help or let go of wanting things a certain way, which is what I tend to do. And I like to be flexible and I want to keep moving with the times. I don't want to be stayed and with this attitude of no, things have to be a certain way, it has to look like this. It's like things are changing too fast in the world, and I am out of touch with so many of them. But I like to learn them, and technology keeps me on that path, certainly. So, personally, that's why I like to kind of keep things moving, being comfortable with letting go and not having things a certain way so that I can learn new things. And that's especially important in travel, which I am blessed enough to be able to still do. It's on a shoestring budget, which is fine. Um, but I love learning and watching and observing and appreciating people and cultures. Um, it's like life is such a great teacher. I, I want to be always learning and expanding. That seems to be the nature of the universe. And I concur. I agree. That's a good philosophy, a good stance to take. And so by traveling, by really living life and not sheltering myself away, hardly ever getting out, not interacting with people, etc., but by really living it, I get a lot of information and a lot of lessons learned. So it's a real balance of when to let go of something. And this includes items too, not just, rules and dictates. It includes personal items like a set of china. I live in a tiny house. Where am I going to put a set of china? Who's going to use a set of china? Um, they don't do that anymore. My mother had hers for years and years and would not relent in letting it go. So what happened to it? She died. And I took care of all her things, uh, emptied her apartment basically. Well, it went to a consignment shop that is known for accepting um, things from estates. So later I went into this consignment shop and uh, there were, they couldn't display any more sets of china. So I knew I wasn't the first daughter to uh, put china out there. I even think my sister has one set of china that she can't bear to let go of either. And she never entertains, like never. Anyway, that's what it takes for one to be comfortable and to, I don't know, feel secure or have fun or whatever it is. It's okay. It's her life. I respect that. So I think the real trick is knowing when to let go and be comfortable enough with that, and then when to hang on to tenaciously. And both are skills. And luckily, as we have lived a lot of life, we have more experience in knowing who we are and what we want. And we're more able to make those decisions. I have another friend who's the same age, 83, and she says if it's not easy and fun, then it's not for me. And that's the criteria she uses for making decisions. So it's like, that's simple and straightforward, good for her. So I'll end this now. That's a lot to think about. I'm going to go think about it some more. Thank you for joining me. Wishing you well.